Hello, Proxy table gaming fans. PTG, Lucky Sixes, and Hyper G are here.
Yo, day 2, baby.
Yes, for you. You're catching up with day 2.
I am. We're slowly getting there, and
Yeah.
day 2 of the vampire counts. Sees me go against Dread Elves, actually, which was one of the armies I wanted to go up against, kind of in a really sadistic way.
Yeah, because you'd only really had practice against Dread Elves against the Temple Militants of mine, hadn't you? And,
Yeah.
There are no Temple Militants to be seen at the moment.
No.
For reasons I can't understand.
No.
Well, I can understand it, but yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's completely different Dread Elves for you, really.
Yeah, and this was nice. This was a very different list as well to what I'd seen. This Edgar, I can't pronounce his thing. He did tell me, but I've completely forgotten because I've slept since. Bodiage.
That'll do. At least that's fine for me. I mean, it might offend him mortally.
If it mortally offends you, Edgar Bodiage, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Especially as you'll say it differently each time. So yeah.
Bodiagio. Here's my vampire list: Killy Killerson and the crew. And here's his list. So we've got Beastmaster, General, and Manticore, which is. There's a few things actually. I was in this. I was a little bit worried about because really, when I look at this with my vampires, I basically think, what can Varkalak go up against? What can the Vampire Knights go up against? And what can Killy go up against? So they're my 3. Dark Coach is pretty forgiving. He can go up and support most things. To be fair, but really, what those 3 things can go up against, and this guy with I don't know, Transcendence is a bit of a weird one. It's to judge. I didn't really know whether my Killy Lord could kill this guy. So I was, and then the Vampire Knights, I was like, if I get the charge, I'll be all right. But he's a flyer and has chaff, so I probably won't. Warlock Outcast with Cosmology, and so 5 spells, which is fair enough. Silent Assassin is a worry because he can kill my lord, and he can put him anywhere at any point. So
there's 4 different units you can go in there. 5 if you count the raiding party. I'm not sure if they're
really.
allowed.
So my initial thinking is I need to really bide my time as much as possible. But then you look at the rest of the list and there's lots of shooting. You have to I can't really do that as well. So so that's an interesting one to think about as the game goes
also, on. Kraken has killed Killy before.
Yeah, Kraken's killed him, and this is colossal, so I think that's just more HP. I think.
Yeah, sure.
Tempo Exarch is meh. It's dealable, but there you go. As you see later on in a bit of a bunker. So 2 lots of auxiliaries, 2 lots of spears, raiding party, 2 gorgons, 2 repeater batteries, which I don't really like.
Says he.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's it. It's just, but these are the 8 shots. These are the 8 shots.
Yeah, that's true. But, you know,
so. I mean,
it's just
Mr. Leviathan, who I'm not really scared of at all. I don't really know what he adds in this list either, and the Hydra. So
I mean, I can't. I'm not sure what version of the Mr. Leviathan was happening at Tech. He's either providing hard target to his units or he's giving them a movement penalty at the start. I don't know when that exactly changed because I didn't play Dread Elves for the latter part of
that's what
2021.
I don't know what he adds. So it didn't really come up. I didn't really experience anything in this one either. But we play Refuse Flank, the Diagonals, and Breakthrough. I'm not too fussed about Breakthrough. I quite like it because of the Vampire Knights, but the Refuse Flank thing sort of means that he can spread out and shoot me all across. So I'm not. I think it'll be more. Can I go for anything at the end? And I'm thinking that in my head. I'm thinking probably what I need to do is go first if I can and put some pressure on so that he doesn't have free reign to come forward. But here we are. I cannot remember who dropped, and I know that I do go first, but I have a feeling
come up.
He dropped to go second.
Okay,
there was a bit.
Interesting.
There was a.
Has he not watched these reports?
Clearly, or clearly he's gone. I can let him go first, and don't worry. But I've got Killy Killison, Johnny Dark Coach, dogs, big bats, small bats, big block. That's a hill that they're on as well, so I'm pretty happy with them going on the hill and sort of like zoning as much as possible. 2 blocks of zombies and the vampire knights on the side. I've got just behind us, you can just see, is Varkalak. I'll move us slightly just for anybody we're in, who is vanguarded up as well, and he's vanguarded up because I can move into his flank, which I'm very happy with. So the repeated batteries and the auxiliaries really cause me a bit of issue. So I'm kind of like, I just need to move up and make sure that they're not able to shoot the right thing that they want to.
Pass your fortitude saves.
well, that's it, or past that. Yeah. So that's where I'm at with it, really. And I'm thinking Donny Dark coaching Killy Killison can take out those scoring units on the left. He's got spears, a Gorgon, Kraken, auxiliaries with a Kraken. With a Gorgon, Mist Leviathan, and the Beastmaster dead centre, which is a good placement from his part because he can basically choose where he goes. Auxiliaries with 2 batteries behind, and the Hydra and raiding party, I think, on the right. So I'm pretty happy with the matchups as they are. I think Killy Killison, especially, and Johnny Dark Coach can go into the Kraken, but I do need them to get the spears first so that they can't just move up into my flank. Because once those 2 go forward, they're sort of committed. So I kind of need to bide my time a little bit like that. I've got enough chaff to chaff his Kraken all game, I'm hoping. And they're all facing him like that. The ghouls want to just sort of move forward and put a bit of pressure on, although they do die quite easily against the amount of shooting I've got. So we'll see how that goes. Zombies are just there for bunker and maybe late game scoring if I can. And the Vampire Knights and Varkalak just want to go up and cause some things against that. The Hydra, I don't know whether I can deal with, because he's a smaller width. So I'm not at this point. I'm not really sure. I don't really know how that'll go, but I know that the Vampire Knights will kill the raiding party. So it's, can I get them into the raiding party without Hydra doing much, really? Yeah. And I want him to have to push back really where he can.
Do you know where his temple exarch is?
Yes. So this is Edgar. You can actually see in front of the Mist Leviathan. His Exarch and Warlock Outcasts are in that sort of bunker thing. Okay, so alchemy is a little way away from your knights then. Yeah. Something. Yeah. So, there we are. Hello, Edgar. And you got Ollie and Matt in the background as well. This is my turn. I move up and I basically push to go towards the Kraken. I know that he's got chaff. That's why I put my bats next to the Dark Coach, but I want to chaff him with my dogs, and I want to be able to go in with both. Really, is my thought process there. On the right, Varkalak gets behind his lines, which is great, and the Vampire Knights move up to be out of arc of the Hydra, and they don't care if the raiding party charge them because they'll mince them up, bro. Yeah. Ghouls come up onto the hill, and the zombies stay back because they don't want any piece of this battle. No, really, not yet. Yeah, and the only other thing I'm doing is keeping the small bats 12 inches from the reserve. Yeah. So they can march, but where they are now, they're even marching 12 won't really be a good chaffing position, so they're just back for later game. I get Touch the Reaper and do 1 wound, I think, to the Hydra. Okay. So yeah, it was all right. Obviously, you just want to max out early game where you can, but only do 1. But I'll take it.
Lovely models they've just got as well.
Yeah, very much so.
Oh, that's a beauty.
And that's it for my turn. Onto his turn. He charges the chaff because he doesn't care. He also chaffs my lord with the Gorgon. Yeah. Although he does chaff him. See that coming. In a way that I can probably get an overrun. It's not a short overrun, so it depends what I'm feeling.
At 9 or 10, maybe? It's hard to tell from the perspective.
But yeah, so an interesting sort of thing there. Depends how risky I'm feeling, really.
Well, I was going to say,
Yeah,
you know,
he gets very well. He uses his Beastmaster, I think, very well, and moves him over to the Varkalak to stop him going in.
yeah,
It does provide some cover against his own shooting, but it does stop him, my Varkalak, just charging wherever he wants at the back. So, yeah, I think that was a good play from Edgar. Really, he uses his raiding party to chaff and moves up his Hydra right up into my zombies grill, and I kind of think I'm like, oh, that's
it's not ideal, that.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to stop the Hydra all game at this point.
Yeah,
because
I know you got the bats for one turn, maybe.
Yeah, with this Beastmaster over here anyway. Like, there's that.
Well, exactly.
The good thing about this Beastmaster being over here is he's well away from Killy and Dark Coach. So I think Killy and Dark Coach can actually do a real good job over on this left side. But obviously they're two of my maybe 3 or 4 big threats. So it's probably not a good trade-off. But if they've survived, then it's not terrible either. On to Magic. He gets Perception Strength -1 on me, on my Lord, and Truth of Time on the Coach, which is interesting. So yeah, not ideal.
Wonder whether that potentially Truth of Time might have been better on Killy, but obviously it depends on the overrun.
The overrun stuff, yeah. He shoots an Oni with 1 battery and does 2 wounds still. Even with the hardcover and everything, which is, just struggle there. Does a load of wounds for 7 in the first round for shooting, so you're like, that's not too bad. I can recoup that, I think. If he lets me anyway. Obviously, dogs die.
I do best.
He does a wound over to me over here as well. And I charge because I need 7 points, really. So this is like 200 points at least. So that's me off. So here we go. I charge here because I've got to get rid of his chaff at some point.
Definitely, yeah. Got to be done.
But I don't charge with anything else. Mainly because it made it a fairly big charge with Danny Dark Coach with Truth of Time. And
he's reformed the Kraken as well a bit to make it further for Killy to go.
Yeah, and Varkalak as well doesn't want any part of the Beastmaster, so
no.
There we go. It does mean, though, he's a flyer, right, the Beastmaster, so I'm like, it means that he now has got a good chance to get my Vampire Knights, which is, I don't know how that goes. It's actually swingier than, because I've got like 8, 9 attacks at strength 5 still, even if he charges me, which isn't ideal, but he's only got like 4 wounds, I think, 5 wounds. I'm not sure.
Sure, on a Manticore,
yeah. My Hydra chaffs his. Sorry, my Hydra. I wish. My Batswarms chaff his Hydra, and I turn my Ghouls so that if he overruns, he goes into my Ghouls, which I'm really happy with that. Ghouls versus Hydra it's wicked because of the poison.
Definitely, yeah.
And I chaff his Kraken again. Don't really want to, but I do. I just create in the double charge thing. There's not really a good chaff from his point of view. No. I make sure that the Gorgon in the centre can't chaff Tony Dark Coach as well. So it means that he's got to either chaff with one of his scoring units, which isn't great for him, or I don't know, or just take it. So we'll see.
As I mean, this is probably a silly question, but I'm guessing you've got Spectral Blades available for your Ghouls.
Yes.
Because I mean, that's lethal strike on the Hydra
as well. So. Yeah. I think anyway.
Yeah.
The Gorgon actually does a wound to me with the AP, agility 10 thing. I think it's AP 10 as well, so it's fair enough. But I don't roll a vampiric, but I do kill him. So I don't know what the 2 and the 3 exactly is, but
sure.
Just some dice.
It wasn't an overrun, though.
Yeah. So. No. Yeah. The Vampire Knights clean up, and I get Ancestral Aid on them to reroll to hit, and the Beastmaster being, I think, res 5, actually that's probably the harder one for me to do, so I go for that, and this makes it even swingier as well for his beastmaster. So and we have a bit of a chat about it as well. So I'm like, I don't want him to go in, but if he does, it could happen.
Yeah. So you're trying to power game him away from doing it.
Kind of, because I don't want to. Like, I genuinely don't know which way it goes because he hasn't got that many attacks, and I've seen and he's only like AP 3 at max. So I'm still 4 up armor, and I'm AP 2. I've got ancestral aid. I'm like, it could happen either way. I've got banner. I don't know. We'll
Come on, I want to see. Does it happen?
I turn to face this way. This is another picture.
Yeah, actually. You got a sight on the Hydra there, or not quite?
Yes. So
I was going to say.
As a thing, I'm not really.
But he's still in your front, obviously.
Yeah. I'm not really. Yes, not really thinking of going that way, but we'll see what happens.
Options.
Yeah, always options. Overview.
Cool.
Just to add to the tension. And he doesn't go in.
Okay.
So, he chooses not to even charge with the Hydra either. He moves out of line of sight and right on my flank. Okay. So he's got these 2 big units right on my flank, which is not great for my bunkers.
No.
But
he's playing with you.
He is. And there is a bit of like, we're both sort of like doing this like standoff thing with each other. But so we're like, I can go for him. But if I fail, he's in my rear, and that probably is toast for the Vampire Knights. But also, he could just leave me alone and mop up my back, but then I'd mop up his back.
Yeah,
there's a lot that could happen depending on decisions, really. He chooses not to charge my Kraken, and instead not my Kraken, with his Kraken.
You'll just keep taking his monsters.
Yeah, right. That'd be a cool thing. He chaffs with his Mist Leviathan rather than charging, as well, hoping to knock off the last few wounds with shooting. And decides that he wants to go for the bats with his shooting as well, putting 1 unit of auxiliaries towards the bats and 1 towards my ghouls. He has created a mini unit, I think, looking at it, with his 2 characters facing the Varkalak for some, and my knights for some alchemy and stuff like that. Over here, he just moves up like this, out of line of sight of my lord. So again, just
going for
really,
breakthrough there.
Yeah, just making a really long charge.
I like his silent assassin chilling out on top of the rock as well.
Yeah, just saying, by the way, I'm here.
Yeah.
He gets Ice and Fire off, kills. I think he does 2 wounds because I think I had 1 on it, and gets Truth Time on them as well. Yeah, I hope I've got a picture of it.
Did they have a lot that they could charge though? Was a long charge into the repeater or something?
I think if we go back, you can see the overview. So they've got a medium minute charge into the repeater and a medium charge into the thing. I think on recollection, because of I had banner speed. I'm not sure. I think it's a 6 to get into the infantry and a 7 to get into the repeater. Obviously,
so
the repeater,
I
could go into the Mist Leviathan and or the other repeater as well. So that's probably but 6. So we get Truth Time off to make it dicey, and again, that's the talk of the battle. Really, very very dicey stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything can happen. Only kills 2 wounds against my bats, which is
handy.
really interesting. And it means I can move and have some chaff against this Kraken again, which is, that'd be my turn 3 by that point. So, does some wounds to my ghouls, not too many, but plinking away. And that's it, really. Onto my turn, I decide to go for the charge against the infantry because it's smaller, 6 in the 6, and Varkalak takes no wounds, which I'm really quite pleased of. Which is weird because he had no cover from the first one, so just one of them.
Always the way.
Yeah, so I'm hoping to get an overrun into his second battery with my Varkalak if I can go through his Mist Leviathan. Don't know.
8 wounds though, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't know. I can't remember if he's unstable or stubborn or anything like that. I don't think he is.
No, I don't think so.
So just hoping to do like 4 or 5 wounds and not take any back. So
break
I think
him.
It's that killy. So we'll see on that. And they both get in. So truth time, I think I rolled like a 1, a 3, a 3, and a 6. So I was like, it was one of those where I don't know what's happened until you take away the dice. But literally just got in.
You're not over running into the battery with the knights?
No, I could. As you can see on this, because I'm 4, even I'm actually
Yeah, you're
should be a little
diagonal
bit
with
down.
the third one in. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not quite. If I get another heal, I could.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. But also as well, at the minute I'm not breaking steadfast as well, so
Sure.
I need to do a lot of wounds. But I should do a decent amount of wounds. So
Yeah. Smash them up.
yeah, man. With movement, I chaff his Hydra again because he hasn't taken him out. Keep him at bay. I move the zombies behind the ghouls and some zombies just there. Basically, later on, just go in. I'll just use that other bunker as chaff, really.
How come your Necro's not in the ghouls yet?
Well, yeah. I mean, I want to keep him safe. At this point, day 1, he didn't survive at all. So if I put him in the ghouls and I want to charge the ghouls, he won't survive again.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's got that much scary. Unless you go into the Kraken, he hasn't got that much scary in front of the ghouls. I mean, I know that elves are decent in combat, but...
Well, what I'm thinking is I'm not going to put him in any combats whatsoever.
No, fair enough.
Fair enough. So everyone is within 6 as well for buffage. I chaff his Kraken. Classic line. And I go for the scoring units now at this point.
Sure.
I think as well. Actually, I didn't say. I think he's put out his assassin in the middle auxiliaries. Not the one that is engaged with.
Yeah, I think I could see the cape.
Yeah. So let's see. So just here.
Oh, under us.
Under us. Yeah. So he did that in the start of this phase. I think he does it.
Sure.
Or start of a turn. I think he does it. So doing that, I basically chaffed the Kraken and bailed on and get the scoring units. This is my turn 3, so there's plenty of time for Killisons to come back in. Maybe on turn 5 or turn 6 to do something. And I want to get the other unit with Donnie Darkcoach as well. So let's see how
you know
goes.
what I'm most disappointed about in that picture?
Go on.
I had no idea they had Apple Tango there.
Oh yeah. As soon as I did, I got like 2.
Yeah.
It was maze balls. Yeah.
Anyway, carry on.
I get Ancestral Aid off on the Knights again, which I'm pretty happy. He stops a raise on them, I think.
Actually,
I think
very
anyway.
wise. Well, you might have just had one just because of spells.
Yeah,
you know.
and that's the only spell I get off in the end. I do get a hell load of wounds on the infantry, but I don't break their steadfast. I think I was 2 away. Yeah, from breaking steadfast, which is mad. But they did have 15 to start off with, so I do like 9 wounds or something, which is pretty cool. So go in. They have steadfast, and they hold. In the Varkalak thing, I should say before we go on to this picture. But yes. It's either 3 wounds or 2. I can't remember. But he holds. Basically, is at the end of it, which I was a little bit gutted about. But it is what it is. He charges the rear with his Beast Lord and
possibly pop the ability to get an extra swift stride on his charge or something like that.
And the BSB comes in as well because he's not too shabby. Leaving the mage out.
Yeah, the Temple Exarch, absolutely.
So I just want. I think it's a 9 for his Beastmaster to get in. I can't remember.
I'm not sure he was a BSB actually, the Temple Exarch, because he was the arcane.
Sure.
He was the alchemy guy, so he might. I think he can't be both BSB. Did he have a BSB?
He did. I remember him having a BSB, but I can't remember what off the top of my head. But yes, so needs a 9. So again, quite dicey to get in. But if he does, then that's toast. Charges the chaff. And charges the chaff. I'm quite pleased I've still got chaff at this point. It was good. But gets in with both. And I'm like... The only thing going for me is that I think I go at the same... Oh no, go after his lords and stuff. I might be able to get the unit. It's my hope.
Yeah, you mean you've got... It looks like you've got 6 combat res potentially there.
So
you can get...
So. I just need to get lucky. I've got Ancestral Aid up, which is good. but it's how many of me survives, really.
Yeah, it's not a grind that you could win.
I don't think
for
so.
long.
Yeah, so especially with Transcendence as well, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
So this is what he does. Kraken goes in, Hydra goes in at the top right behind us. I'm going to move us to the bottom right. And yeah, that's the overview of the table. His mage goes into that second auxiliary bunker.
Yeah.
And the Gorgon comes up to chaff my ghouls because he doesn't want them coming in. I'm on the hill, and I think I only need an 8 to get into the auxiliaries that are in combat with the knights. So,
that would help.
Yeah,
especially with Nova.
He gets perception strength, the +1 strength on his whoever this
Exarch.
is. This might be the Exarch or the BSB. To be fair, I can't remember.
Well, I didn't see one of each, to be honest, in the list.
Sure.
So,
I think there
if
was
that's
4
the
characters,
Exarch,
but yeah,
then
I've got a feeling
scary,
that's the BSB.
Okay.
But yeah, does a load of wounds with shooting. I think it's like 8 wounds or something crazy. But that's with the other battery as well. Kills the chaff and kills the chaff, which is fair enough. Over in this combat though, he fluffs completely with his beastmaster. He does a few wounds with his BSB. I'm going to say BSB. I don't know what it is. With BSB, but it allows me to get 5 wounds off on the things, and actually with very very close in combat res. I think he does 2. I think that was in the challenge, I believe. He's got obviously a charge and a rear and a banner, but I've got 5 wounds as well. So I think we're drawn, or he wins by 1 or something. But it's all good.
That's all right.
So I'm like, maybe I can get that unit. I'm not tricking myself into thinking that I'll win the combat or whatever. It was a lot closer.
Well, it could have been worse. You could have been dead now.
Yeah,
as opposed to still got a turn or 2 to
so I'm just hoping he doesn't show up in the next turn, because then obviously it is my turn next, and then he'll be able to move around and whatever. But let's kill the unit. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Mini goals. That's what I'm thinking. And then I actually win by 1, which actually means that the unit goes. It flees. So, luckily,
and vampiric as well. So.
Yeah, vampire. Yeah, exactly. So I'm actually looking in good stead. He does get away though, so we've got that. And the 2 big mean killy characters don't flee, which I mean would have been like super lucky, but like
that would have been amazing.
At the same time, this tournament, you want to go like, well, I don't mind getting lucky if that gives me some big points. So, and if Beastmaster flees, he's off the table. So.
Of course he is. Yeah. Trouble is, that grind doesn't get any better. He's not going to whip every time, is he?
No, exactly. No, it was just like a super whiff on there. The Varkalak, speaking of whiffing, kind of only does 1 wound. Doesn't take any, but
I think he's stuck there a while. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I was a bit frustrated how long this was taking. Like 2 more. I only done 4 in 2 combats. So I was like, but anyway. On to my turn, and I charge to the Gorgon. I charge also the scoring units. This is my time to go for the scoring. This is my plan. Especially as actually the assassin is in the central auxiliary unit.
Okay, good.
So I've got that. At least he did that at the start of his phase, I think, to stop me going into them with my Dark Coach, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, now that he's not there, it means that these guys can go over that way. Do need to do some serious damage with Dark Coach, otherwise there's a crack in there, and I've got a pretty big base, but I'm pretty confident.
Yeah.
Chaff the Hydra and move the other ones like this, basically trying to keep the Hydra busy and go for the breakthrough with the zombies. I should say as well, I think you alluded to it, I did put my Necromancer in the ghouls. But obviously he's not technically in combat at this point, so I'm not too fussed.
Sure.
Everyone gets in, and as you can see, Dark Coach's base is a bit too long there. I guess if he's shorter, he could have gone further up. But obviously can't at this point. But so... modelling,
Can't jettison the cargo to get shorter. Sorry, Vampire, we're just going to be the coach now.
Yeah, man. I get a rise off, which is cool.
That's
Get some
good.
more zombies and ghouls, more specifically and more importantly. Kill the Gorgon, minor woundage back, and overrun to get in his face. So
That's where you need to be now.
yeah, I need to be pressing as much as possible. Do loads of wounds here, get a vampiric as well, so it's all looking good.
Ooh,
But he
bonus.
passes steadfast, and they stick around.
That's okay. Killy's probably not doing a lot more this game now anyway. So
No, the next turn is his, so if I can get his, if I get that on his next turn and he flees like he should, then I can get him back in the game for maybe turn 6. So that'll be interesting. I do 10 wounds with that coach.
Okay.
Which means he's steadfast, which means he holds just, I think, because it was close.
I was going to say it's probably still on a 7 or an 8.
Yeah.
8 at best.
And now I'm just hoping I can get that unit and the Kraken whiffs.
Or you just Aegis everything. You have been known.
I have been known, absolutely. Absolutely. Cheers, David. The Beastmaster rolls up his sleeves, kills the knights along with the other BSB as well. So they just get obliterated this turn, and that's a shame because it's on my turn as well. On his turn, Kraken comes in.
Of course.
Hydra comes in.
Yeah.
Beastmaster chooses to come for these scoring, stop him getting breakthrough.
Yeah.
Get a couple, 100 point or whatever, and also potentially threatens the ghouls as well. So
I mean that's a lot of zombies to get through, though, isn't it? So
yeah, that's what I'm
maybe
thinking.
more than a turn.
Yeah, that is what I'm thinking. Is that maybe if they don't have a few good turns of attacking, they'll just be stuck there. So not the end of the world for me. This is the rest of his movement. So chaffs with his assassin, moves his characters up to face my ghouls. I think rallies his chap. Maybe it's this turn he rallies. Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? And then faces his auxiliaries towards me, and there's a lot of shooting come at me, really.
Yeah.
Speaking of which...
there it is.
Just, I mean, so many. Was it 4, 8, 12, 16?
Well, he's got both his repeater batteries still, hasn't he? So that's probably a big factor.
Brutal at short range. Expect it happens, and I can move around and see if I can threaten. I don't know whether this is expected, but I kill his unit. Yay!
That's expected.
And I died, it's just dicey. Right? I got 4 of Aegis. So.
Yeah, all you need to do is fail 2 of those Aegises. Agi.
Yeah.
And
because what's he got? 4 attacks.
Multiple wounds. Yeah, plus the beasts, the Lash Masters.
4 attacks.
Which
on
don't do a lot.
Wounding on 2, probably still 2s.
2s. Strength 7.
Yeah. Aegis.
Oh, he needs to get 2 through the Aegis.
Yeah, I don't know. But at the end of it, I died. So there you go. Varkalak, though, does I think 3 more wounds. So again, decides to turn up this
Finishes
turn.
it off. It doesn't kill it.
Doesn't finish off. Makes it flee. It runs 12, I think, and I run 6. But it is my turn next, so it's not too bad. I just want to make sure I actually get it for points, really, now.
Those repeater batteries have moved aside, though.
Yeah, out of...
Because it can fire and move, can't it?
Yes. Yeah, crazy.
So
on my turn, I decide to charge with the court and the Varkalak into the auxiliaries. They don't flee because I'll be able to charge other things. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to overrun backwards. To the top left as your screen, and hopefully get the Mist Leviathan as well.
Yeah.
On his turn, going back one. At this point, we're really running out of time. This is my turn 5. We've got about 10 minutes, so the pictures kind of dry up, and we just want to get stuff going for it. They end up doing that, going through, doing exactly as expected with the Varkalak as well. I take them down to below 5. They auto run. I overrun, and get the Mist Leviathan, and both end up in the. Although I don't know how, end up in the ruins. Technically, I should stop before, shouldn't I?
Yeah, you should get a reform after killing the Mist Leviathan.
But maybe, but I don't know. but we ended up putting them both in the rooms. Might be because of rush time.
Sure.
We did it. He goes into the
You
zombies.
probably knew he was out the fight at that point, so it probably
Yeah.
didn't matter too much. Yeah.
Oh, sorry as well. So the other thing I did, which in hindsight, I don't think it was the right thing, but I was trying desperately to try and get this breakthrough. I reformed the ghouls, which have like 8 in it at the moment, to be too wide and into his thing, but obviously are facing the way they're still facing now, presenting lots of flanking opportunities.
With a lot of flankers. Yeah.
For some reason, well, my thought was if I put them too wide, then and the front in his objective, in his deployment zone, then if he kills everything but one, I've got my necromancer and my ghouls in his deployment zone, so I'll win the objective. Is my thought.
Yeah.
However, I do need a couple of raises, and I do need him not to kill me. Yeah. And in hindsight, with a Kraken and Assassin characters, not sure that ever happens.
Yeah.
So I probably should have got used the necromancer differently. Either got him out of dodge or chaffed something. I don't know.
Yeah, or just split them up. So you had to do both.
But I didn't.
All in one basket.
And we'll see how that goes. He goes into them to get them, and this is how I end up being. I am in his deployment zone at the minute, but he charges everything in. And I did get one raise off, but even looking at that now, it isn't enough.
It's not ideal, yeah.
So he goes in and gets in with everything, apart from the wizard who just moves overhead like so, and kills them, and that's a lot of points. And
yeah,
it's one of those. I'm like, I think there was better plays there, but I couldn't think of them, and I really wanted the objective. Another thing I could have done, of course, was just run away completely.
Sure.
Move the ghouls back, even put the necromancers just 1 inch in front of them, face them backwards, and just say, you know what, if you can't get my necromancer, but you can get my ghouls. Probably not with everything. You might not get through the ghouls. Blah 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 blah. So that was probably, on hindsight, the better play.
Easy to say after the event, though, isn't it? So
in the end,
and with time being an issue, even more so, it's hard to make.
I think
what would have been the right call.
I think so. I think in my head to start off with, I wanted the ghouls to go for the objective and stop his other scoring from affecting it. I did the latter, and I had just focused on the form of the ghouls going forward. And I think at this point, with everything going on, and the Kraken not dealt with, I think that was the bad play. But as you say, time. I didn't have time to stop and think and change my plan. I don't think so. That's what I'm saying. But he played really well, and got them, and in the end got like 1,200 points or something. Was that maybe 1,000? But yeah, and wins 13-7. Drawn objective.
That's pretty much the difference. Yeah. The thing is, you wouldn't have been able to keep both alive, no matter what you'd done.
No,
if you'd have split your targets, he would have got one or the other, or still both. So.
You've still got the repeater batteries as well, so like my necromancer being out in the open is a bit
toast.
So I don't know. I don't know what the best play is. I tried that, it failed. It probably was 1 or 2 tournament points difference. It wasn't like, I don't think it was 3. I don't think, maybe 1,000 points it was. But
yeah, I mean, I guess what with him not having any scoring units to get the objective, perhaps a play on your part to win the objective possibly wasn't as needed. But again, it comes back to hindsight and everything, doesn't it? At time. Yeah. So,
no, absolutely. So I ended up at 13-7. That means I've got a win, 2 losses, or both 13-7 respectively, or all, and a draw. So I'm on 37 points. Needing a 13 for bang average, which is what I'm going for.
Symmetry as well.
Yes, super symmetry. And yeah, it was a good game. Thanks for the game, matchup. It was a bit rushed at the end, but that can be helped somewhat. And yeah, it was nice to play Dread Elves and see what they got under their sleeve.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely, yeah. No, absolutely. I don't think I've ever played against Dread Elves. I've played with Dread Elves, obviously, but I don't think I've ever played against them. Oh no, I have. Amit absolutely slaughtered me. Anyway, we won't go back to that.
Yeah.
So cool. Yes, that's round 4 done. We're both chasing some decent victories in order to get back to par in tech. And yeah, we'll move into round 5 shortly.
Round 5.
A couple of things I did want to say briefly before we wrap this up completely. Number one is congratulations to the prize winners for the Masters prizes.
Yeah, man.
The video for the wrap up of Masters came out last week, which is a good watch. Thanks to Ed and obviously Matty P as always for joining us on that one. If you are one of those lucky prize winners, feel free to get in touch with us. We will be getting in touch with you guys if we have the contacts available, etc. But it helps massively if you guys will contact us beforehand. Just makes it a lot easier. I know, Rob, you've already done so thank you. And yeah, we'll look forward to giving out those prizes because decent haul.
Yeah, man.
Another thing. Go on.
Oh, I was just going to say, we've got. We may have wrapped up the Masters, but we do have another tournament coming up in Art of War. So we've got the this Friday, the list review coming out, and draw and that stuff to come, as well as we're both playing in it. So loads of battle reports to come in tournament play, which is it was good for us. I'm looking forward to another one because even though we're doing these tech ones, it has been a long time since it's been.
November tech was, and we're now approaching February, aren't we? Well, this will be in February when you watch this. Another thing is the hobby show for January is out now. Enjoy watching that. Give Gobbo some comments because I know he likes to read those and feedback on how that's going. Different content, of course, available. And we're still rolling on a high from the 1K subscribers, which we're really grateful for.
Yeah, man. Whoop, whoop.
So there's going to be some additional content coming out soon in relation to that. Look forward to seeing how that goes down. Yeah,
do look out for that because we want to hear your opinions on what you want from the future. Also, how you can potentially help us improve like quality and things like that, which we've been striving for. And get on board and get engaged. Really,
definitely.
Is all I'm saying.
And just throwing back to this one because we do love your comments. Let us know what you think Lucky Sixes might have been able to do in different players, etc.
Yeah. I'm interested to find out. Don't know.
We do love reading your comments. I know we say it a lot, but it's because it's so true. And we like responding to them and getting stuff. So you guys are awesome at that. So,
absolutely.
Great. We'll go into round 5 for the last stage of tech. We'll see you there.
See you later.